Hey guys, it's Scott with scottieb Cards. In this video I have 5 tips for people that are new in the hobby. Whether you're new in the hobby or whether you've been in the hobby a long time, here are 5 tips that I wish I would have known when I was starting out in sports cards or baseball cards or Pokemon cards or whatever you want to do with cards. This video is important to make sure you're not making mistakes a lot of people fall into as they start. So there's 5 tips. First one, have a limited budget as you're starting out. That sounds silly, but set a budget. It is so easy to get caught up in a rabbit hole of what people are collecting, what they like, and it makes you make huge mistakes. And you buy cards because you don't really know what you want yet because you're figuring it all out, and if you spend a lot of money, you lose a lot of money. The reason I bring this up is because when I started myself, I would only spend upwards of $10 on a card. Back in like 2013 to 2015, I would have a max of like $10 a card. I would not spend more than that. And the reason for that is because I wanted to make sure if I lost the money, I was okay with it, and that's the most I was comfortable with. $15 was a splurge, and $75 plus was like unheard of. I actually remember my first Mike Trout autograph I bought. It was 2012 Sterling Refractor. Gorgeous card. Check those out if you've ever seen them before. And it's on card, Mike Trout, his second year autograph. And I remember just looking at it and couldn't believe I owned it. And now things have just changed as I've continued to grow and understand sports cards and how it all works. But this is important. Start slow. And I lost a lot of money on the cards I bought thinking they were a good buy back then, but I made money. So this Christian Yelich you're seeing on the screen right now, I made a lot of money on this card. I bought it for like $5, sold it for like $30. And at the time, that was a great flip for me and I was excited. But the reason I did this for the first few months to a year is because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing and knew what I was buying, and making sure the research I was doing was getting me cards that weren't just a huge waste of resources for buying modern. So that's my first piece of advice, is just have a budget, whether it's $10 or $100, whatever you're comfortable with. Set it, and then don't go too crazy. Even though you see other people buying it, don't get FOMO and don't make bad choices. So don't run before you learn to walk. Number 2 kind of goes into number 1. Research as much as you can. Research the sets. Make sure you know what you like. Make sure you know what you're doing. Topps releases upwards of 60 different sets every single year, and Panini basketball and football is even more wild. On top of that, every single rookie has probably 70 different rookie cards, not including variations, and there's gold parallels in Topps Chrome Sapphire, Topps Chrome Update Sapphire. Just do your research to figure out what is best. On top of that, what is best for you. So if you like imagery, check out Stadium Club. If you like going after prospecting and trying to hit big, go for Bowman Chrome. If you just want to have a good mixture of cool looking cards from prospects, veterans, and rookies, go for Bowman's Best. Like, there's different things. Not saying to actually buy any of those sets, but figure out what you like, do your research, because that is going to be incredibly important. Number 3, do not store your autographs in the light. This is the biggest piece of advice I can give you for your cards to have long-term value. It's very fun to get a card that you love, that's a really great autograph, and you display it on your desk and you're proud of it. And then one day you're going to look over and think, why does the autograph look darker? Why is it not bright blue anymore? And that's because light, whether it's light like UV light from the sun that comes through your window or fluorescent lighting in your office, all light will fade autographs. All autographs will essentially fade over time. Some look like they were just signed yesterday, even from the 90s, which is what we're hoping for our cards for the next 50 years as we all are alive. But if you leave it in the light, this is what happens. Here's 3 examples. Here's a Kershaw. This is the base. This looks like it was signed yesterday, even though it's a 2006 card. Here's an X-Fractor. You can see it darkening and starting to kind of lose its thickness. Here's an orange where now it's starting to kind of disappear. And then here's a Jock Peterson. This is basically gone. These autographs faded entirely because in card shops or at card shows, people leave them on the table and they fade. So the autograph is very important in regards to value. And so make sure you first, if you want to have the best autograph you can, try to get a very bright blue autograph, but do not store them. Sometimes it's more fun, like these cards back here. None of them are autographs that I ever put out in my videos because I don't want them in the light. I want my autograph to look as blue as possible for as long as possible. Number 4, do not ever pay friends and family to people that you do not know. I know that sounds silly, but the reason for that is because PayPal, Venmo, and other services like Cash App has no goods and services. That's only friends and family. If you send Cash App, it's basically cash. And if your money gets stolen, it's tough luck. I've been scammed. I remember when I was first getting really heavy into the sports card hobby, I got scammed for $600 and it was brutal. It was the most money I'd ever spent on a group of cards. It was a lot of cards. I was really excited. Too good of a deal to realize. I didn't realize that there was a difference between friends and family and goods and services, and I got taken advantage of. It was a tough lesson that I learned. And now, even though I might trust a lot of people, our first deal, maybe even second deal, I'll always use goods and services. And the reason for that is because I don't want the cards to just disappear. I don't want the person to fall off the face of the earth. And even though we're messaging and he's been great to me, he's been really nice, calling me buddies, calling me brother, all these things, the card just doesn't appear and you out all the money you spend. So make sure you always pay goods and services. If they're weird about accepting goods and services, whether it's tax reasons or whether it's just because they're legit and they do a lot of deals, you can always walk away and that's okay. You'll also see people on Facebook and Instagram get legit vouchers and they'll get like legit posts, or people can post on there if they're a legit person. People can delete those comments. So if someone says, no, they're not legit, then there's a chance they will get that deleted, and every single post is just confirming that they are legit, even though they might not be. So only do friends and family if you're in person, you have the card in hand, where that type of situation where it's like basically cash, or if you really trust someone and you can get like good vouchers from someone else. That's one of my biggest pieces of advice. Do not get scammed. It sucks and it could make you leave the hobby, like it almost made me leave the hobby a couple of years ago. Next up, don't forget to pay your taxes and save for your taxes. Such a buzzkill when you have all your cards and it's a hobby and you're selling your cards, you're making profit, you're doing great. Let's say you made 10 grand of profit this year, $30,000 in sales, you're feeling awesome about yourself, and then you get a 1099 from eBay, you get a 1099 from PayPal, and you get a 1099 from MySlabs. Or wherever you spend more than $600 or receive more than $600 in the year 2025, you will get a 1099. And if you do not report that to the IRS, they will come after you for the full amount on that 1099, unless you can kind of prove that you made money or lost money or made less money, right? So it's kind of one of those things. Make sure you keep a record of your sales, which is important on a spreadsheet, or get something like accounting software if you're crazy. If you can get a CPA and have them help you through taxes, I'd highly recommend it. But keep track of what you paid, keep receipts, keep track of what you sold the card for, what days you bought them, keep track of your inventory, because at the end of the year, the government does not treat this as a hobby as we do. They treat it as income. They treat it as a business. They're going to tax you whether you like it or not. So just make sure you are saving for those days so you don't have a big tax burden at the end of the year and now you're paying the government tax instead of getting a tax return. So that's my advice. I think we've all run into that a little bit. And the last tip, breaks and packs are fun, but expect to lose money. Do not go into it expecting to make money. This is hard because every post Topps puts out, every post Panini puts out, every post all the big accounts put out is people hitting really big, but they don't put out the other 95% of packs being opened where people lose all their money. They lose all their money. Maybe you get 10 to 20% back of the box they opened. We've all opened hobby boxes where we're super excited to open them and it's just a punch in the gut. And if you haven't experienced that yet and you're new to the hobby and you've only had good luck, you will experience it. So my point is, treat it as gambling, and whether that's good or bad, if you're easily prone to addictions, know it has the same high as gambling, so that's what you're basically doing. If you're not prone to addictions and you like gambling and you're okay to control yourself, you can do this and just kind of view it that way. But if you don't want it to be gambling necessarily, that's like where buying singles may be best for you, but just try to understand you're gonna lose money if you open packs, and that's okay as long as it's disposable income and you're okay losing that money. Cards are supposed to be fun, but sometimes they do cost a lot. But other than that, those are my first 6 tips for you if you're new to the sports card hobby. If this is helpful, I can do another video. I have actually a bunch more things I wrote down, but I don't want to make this video too long. So let me know in the comments down below if you like this video and I can make more in the future, and I will see you in the next one.